Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your Raw results and did not get nothing was posted for main event again this week. Birthdays for this video is 23rd, 24th videos. Birthdays, March 23rd, Jesse, 1979 birthday. Lana, 1985. March 24th birthday, D'Angelo De Niro, formerly known as the Pope. Born 1978, Jack Swagger, 1982. Also March 24th, Christopher Daniels. He was born 1971. He's the same age as my brother. Also born the 24th, Undertaker, turned 55 years old. Lacey Evans turned 30. Already did Lana, she's 35. Epico Cologne turned 38. Barry Horowitz, the winner, turned 61. WWE and Netflix have released a new preview at this link for the Big Show, which premieres on April 6th on Netflix. At WWE The Big Show commented, "Meet your new favorite TV family. Hashtag The Big Show is streaming on at Netflix April 6th at WWE. At this link, posted his own. WWE superstars Dana Brooke and Rey Mysterio are currently in quarantine due to coronavirus pandemic. According to Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio, noted on Monday how Brooke had been pulled from SmackDown's women's title match at WrestleMania 36, which was changed from six-pack elimination match with Brooke, champion Bayley, Tamina Snuka, Naomi, Lacey Evans, and Sasha Banks, is now down to a fatal five-way elimination match with everyone except for Brooke. Brooke was pulled from the match because she's currently sick and in quarantine. WWE officials did not want to take any chances with her, so they pulled her from the match, and it was noted that officials are concerned for her, but no other details on her health were provided. Regarding Rey Mysterio, he's also currently in quarantine due to concerns over the COVID-19 outbreak. WWE considered multiple ideas for the U.S. title match at WrestleMania 36, and likely match was going to be Andre defending against Rey Mysterio after Rey won the non-title match on last week's Raw. Rey has now been pulled from WrestleMania 36 due to quarantine. WWE announced on Monday that Andrade will be teaming with Angel Garza to challenge Raw Tag Team Champions, the Street Profits, at WrestleMania 36 with the tag team titles on the line. Brooke and Rey Mysterio have not publicly commented on being in quarantine as of this video, but as seen, Brooke did reveal on Instagram that she's been working out at home instead of the gym. And I did not get the link that she posted. She was actually lifting weights. WWE filed a Form 8K with SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission, earlier in the day that details how WWE Chairman Vince McMahon has entered into a variable prepaid forward contract to pledge approximately 3.5 million shares of his Class B common stock. The filing notes that Vince entered into the contract to provide WWE more liquidity while the company is dealing with the fallout from ongoing coronavirus pandemic. This was designed to provide current liquidity to WWE while maintaining Vince's voting and divided rights in the stock, as well as price appreciation during the contract and after, if he settles in cash. According to Seeking Alpha, the contract is set to settle on specified dates in March 2024, at which times the number of Class A shares to be delivered by Vince will be determined based on price at the time. Shares covered by the contract represent about 4.5% of total outstanding shares of Class A and Class B common stock. The deals do not apply to another 25.2 million shares of Class B stock beneficially owned by Vince, which is about 70.5% of company voting power. WWE will wrap their loaded week of TV tapings from Orlando, Florida area this week, just as a new 2-week stay-at-home mandate is going into effect at Orange County, which includes Orlando and Winter Park, Florida, where the WWE Performance Center and Full Sail University are located. Orlando Mayor Buddy Dyer, Orange County Mayor Jerry Demings, and Sheriff John Mina announced on Monday that the county will be under the stay-at-home order for 2 weeks, beginning this Thursday at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, thus giving them the time to do all their tapings, possibly also WrestleMania. Being the 2 weeks, WWE is set to wrap their tapings on Thursday with Night 2 of WrestleMania 36. They taped WWE SmackDown and 205 Live episodes last Friday, WWE NXT episodes on Sunday, and then WWE Raw on Monday and Tuesday. I'm doing this video on Wednesday afternoon. They were reportedly taping WrestleMania 36, Night 1 on Wednesday, and then the second night of grandest stage of them all on Thursday, being tomorrow. Mayor Demings confirmed that there are at least 50 cases of coronavirus in the county as of Tuesday afternoon. Orange County now has at least 50 cases with our county, said Demings on March 15th. Just 1 week ago, we had just one case. It's an understatement that it is spreading throughout our community. All of Orange County is being asked to stay at home as much as possible, except for essential business, as well as Shreveport and Bossier City also have to stay at home as of 5 o'clock Monday afternoon. We believe this is the most effective way to deal with the coronavirus threat, said Demings as their press conference. Our goal is to set our lives back to normal as soon as possible. Florida officials have called on Governor DeSantis to institute a similar lockdown statewide. There is concern across the country that travelers from New York will spread the COVID-19 virus to other states as they try to get away from New York during the outbreak, as DeSantis has pulled from restrictions on travelers from New York, noting that their desire to escape a statewide lockdown in New York will likely bring hundreds of people with the virus to Florida. DeSantis said there are 190 direct flights from New York City area to the state of Florida, and he believes that every single flight has someone infected on it, as they are supposed to be doing the testing before they leave. Also noted earlier, at least 2 WWE superstars are in quarantine over the corona concerns. Rey Mysterio and Brooke were pulled from the WrestleMania 36 card due to the concern. It was noted back that Brooke was sick, and WWE did not want to take any other risk with either talent. Otis versus Dolph Ziggler is still reportedly planned for WrestleMania 36, but not confirmed. While most of the matches for WrestleMania 36 have been multiple changes, especially on the SmackDown side, it was noted on Wrestling Observer Radio that Otis versus Ziggler has not been changed or pulled, but is still on the card. The match has not been announced as of this video, but could be confirmed during Friday's SmackDown on Fox. Otis versus Ziggler feud was one of the main points of last Friday's show. At one point, it was reported by WrestleVotes that WWE had planned to do a mixed tag match at WrestleMania 36 with Heavy Machinery and Sonya Deville versus Ziggler, Robert Roode, and Mandy Rose. The report from Wrestling Observer Radio did not mention the Otis versus Ziggler match possibly turning into a 6-person match. In other news on WrestleMania 36 card, the Raw Tag Team titles match was also changed. WWE announced Monday that Street Profits will defend their titles against Angel Garza and U.S. Champion Andrade at WrestleMania due to results from Raw. It was noted on Wrestling Observer Radio the original plan for a Raw Tag Team title match The title's likely the Authors of Pain challenging for the gold. The match would have been nixed when Rezar went down with a torn right biceps earlier this month. There is still no timetable for Rezar's return, as they've been going on and off with different injuries. But he was expected to be out TV for a few months, even if he didn't need surgery. Noted earlier in the day that Rey Mysterio was considered to challenge Andrade for the title at WrestleMania, but Rey and Dana Brooke were pulled from the card due to the quarantine over coronavirus concerns. WWE considered several matches for Andrade, but ended up with putting him with Garza versus Ford and Dawkins. Sasha Banks is calling on fans to help get her Sky's the Limit remix theme song with her cousin, celebrity WWE Hall of Famer Snoop Dogg, to get #1 on Apple Music, YouTube, and Spotify. As seen at this link, WWE Music YouTube channel recently uploaded the theme, which was their first upload since adding the Fiend's theme song back in August. The #LegitBoss just dropped the hottest single of the year with Snoop Dogg, available on at Apple Music, at Spotify, at YouTube. Banks tweeted, she added, "Let's make this #1. Raw superstar Rusev took to Twitter today and announced that he is pledging $20,000 to any of his WWE family that are sitting at home without income due to the coronavirus pandemic. Rusev noted that the pledge goes for people that work, production, and security, among other departments. In Bulgaria, we say, it's not a lot, but it's from the heart. I pledge $20,000 to any of my WWE extended family that are sitting at home without income. We can't do it without y'all. Production, security, etc. Love y'all," Rusev wrote. WWE NXT superstar Brendan Vink and Shane Thorne made their Raw debuts on Raw from the Performance Center. The former member of TM61 and the big man Vic lost a non-title match to Raw Tag Team Champions, the Street Profits, on Monday's show. An Evolved wrestler also worked Raw on the USA Network as Leon Ruff lost a quick squash match to Aleister Black. While this was Ruff's Red Brand debut match, this was a rematch from last week's WWE main event episode, as Black squashed him on that show as well. Tonight's Raw episode opens up on the USA Network with a pre-recorded message from Paul Heyman. Heyman talks about how WWE Champion Brock Lesnar has dominated the company for years. He named several superstars and Hall of Famers: Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Randy Orton, Hulk Hogan, The Rock, Steve Austin, Ric Flair, John Cena, and The Undertaker. Heyman says no one has been so dominant for so long. The video cuts to Drew McIntyre. Drew says what Heyman said was true. No one has dominated WWE like Lesnar has. But then Brock ran into him. The video shows how Drew eliminated Brock in the Royal Rumble. Drew says in case of Brock thought it was a fluke, he recently proved to Brock on Raw that he has met his match. Video showed the recent Claymore kick to Lesnar. Joe goes on about how he's going to knock Lesnar on his butt to become the new WWE Champion at WrestleMania 36. Live from the empty WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Paul Heyman is in the middle ring with Champion Brock Lesnar. Heyman introduces his client. Heyman says, "We live in uncertain times right now, in this time in history where we all need a little certainty. He gives us the certainty in Brock Lesnar." Heyman says Drew can do anything he wants to, but it won't help him beat Lesnar at WrestleMania. A WrestleMania that is too big for one night. Heyman goes on about Lesnar beating Drew at WrestleMania at the B stairs straight ahead. All business, Heyman says, after what happened at the Royal Rumble and then at Raw in Brooklyn, Lesnar will make it quick, but not painless. Heyman says Drew will be just another B word that tried after WrestleMania 36. Heyman hypes Lesnar up some more and wraps up his promo. WWE went with a different camera angle for tonight's Raw episode on the USA Network. Tonight's Raw was the second Red Brand show to air from the PC in Orlando due to coronavirus pandemic. WWE went to a different camera angle and altered stage setup that prevents the empty seats from being shown. This look is similar to what AEW used for Dynamite last week, and similar to what Ring of Honor has used for years. A recent Raw and SmackDown episode from the Performance Center have had empty seats on full display, which was somewhat of a distraction and brought negative feedback from viewers. This week's changes are already being praised by many fans on social media. Raw results. We go to Tom Phillips and Byron Saxton at an announce table. They welcome us to Raw from the Performance Center. Still to come, Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton will be here. We go to commercial. Dr. Break announcers hype AJ Styles and Undertaker for WrestleMania. AJ will be here later. Tom leads us to a replay of the WWE World Heavyweight title match at 2015 Royal Rumble pay-per-view. That match saw Brock Lesnar retain his title over Seth Rollins and John Cena in a triple threat. After several minutes of the match, we take a commercial break and come back to Lesnar delivering German suplexes. We take another commercial break and back to Tom hyping Rollins' appearance for later. We go back to 2015 Rumble. We take another commercial break. Come back to Lesnar's win. Now just hype Drew McIntyre versus Lesnar at WrestleMania 36. Tom and Byron talk about WrestleMania 36 and how Rob Gronkowski will be the host for both nights. We see AJ Styles talking about Undertaker and wife Michelle McCool on Raw 2 weeks ago. We also see footage of AJ talking down Taker last week on Raw at the Performance Center. And Taker beating up Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson before signing their WrestleMania 36 contract. AJ will be here later on. Back to commercial. Back to break. We get a video package for AJ versus Taker at WrestleMania 36. We go to the stage. Out comes AJ with Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. DOC. AJ takes the mic and hypes the match with Undertaker at WrestleMania. He also mentions Michelle Cool controlling Taker. AJ cracks joke on how Taker looked last week, comparing him to a goth version of the Dog, the Bounty Hunter, or the Tiger King from the new Netflix special. AJ shows us a new video of Taker and McCool at the Tiger Rescue in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, which was posted last week. This is actually one of the Tiger Rescues featured in the Netflix special, but it sounds like AJ doesn't realize the references are connected. AJ goes on and says he's going to bring the dead man back. AJ says he's going to bring Taker back in a boneyard match. Just a type of match for Taker. AJ told us he was going to bury Taker. AJ says he would bury Taker right next to the plot McCool picked out when she buried his career. AJ says he got Taker again, laughing at his own jokes. AJ celebrates for the OC on his match hits as my daughter's puppy made his debut on the show. Her name Everest kind of reminds me of Scooby-Doo. Tom and Byron plug Raw Tag Team Champions, the Street Profits, defending against Angel Garza and U.S. Champion Andrade at WrestleMania 36. We're going to go backstage to Charlie Caruso talking to Zelina Vega. Garza and Andrade. Vega talks about how they will win their match tonight, and then Andrade will become the most decorated champion in the WWE at WrestleMania 36. Andrade and Garza also say a few words before they walk off. Charlie goes to wrap up the segment, but Garza comes right back and winks at her, leaving her a little frustrated. Back to commercial. And she does a little fan look. We got hype for Randy Orton versus Hall of Famer Edge at WrestleMania 36. Orton will be here later on to address Edge's challenge. Ricochet and Cedric Alexander versus Angel Garza and Andrade. We go to ring out for the first match of the night. U.S. Champion Andrade was Zelina Vega. Angel Garza was out next and head to the ring together as Mike Rome does the introductions. Ricochet was out next. He hits the ring, but the heels try to attack him before the match even gets started. Ricochet fights him off. It's 2-on-1 and sends him out, but they came back and he got on the apron and stared Ricochet down. Music hits and out comes Cedric Alexander. Next, he rushes the ring and stands next to Ricochet. Referees restore his order and we get the bell. Andrade charges Ricochet, but gets rocked to start. Andrade turns it around and beats Ricochet down. Ricochet ends up turning it back around and beating Andrade down in the corner. Referee yells at Garza for trying to move the tag rope. Yeah, he actually did, all the way to the middle of the ring. I did see that myself. Andrade rocks Ricochet out of the corner as the referee is still dealing with Garza in the corner. Slides it all the way back down to the corner. Andrade and Garza continue with offense and games until the music interrupts. Out comes Raw Tag Team Champions, the Street Profits, to join Tom and Byron on commentary. We go to the commercial as Garza and Andrade look on while Cedric checks on Ricochet at ringside. Back for the break, Andrade is working on Ricochet's arm. Garza tags in for a double team and a close 2 count. Garza works Ricochet over and sections his tights off. Well, he's down to it, just his whitey tighties. Yeah, he's wearing white tights tonight with his picture on. His logo. Garza with more offense and a running knee to the back of the head. Andrade tags back in for double team on as Vega turns him on from ringside. More back and forth between the two. Cedric and Ricochet mount some offense now. Garza and Andrade get both get double teamed and taken out. Cedric hits a flat ladder, but Garza kicks out and Vega is stressed. Ricochet tags in for double team. Garza fights them off, but gets rocked by the double team in the middle of the ring. Cedric launches himself at Garza, and then Ricochet follows up with a standing shooting star press for a close 2 count. As Andrade broke it up. Andrade with a double team until he gets super kicked. Garza and Ricochet go at it now while Andrade is down. Garza gets the upper hand and flies back in. Go to commercial. Back for the break. Cedric flies in at Andrade, but can't get the job done. Cedric charges, but Andrade sends him face first into the turnbuckle. Vega rallies for Andrade now. Andrade with running double knees to Cedric in the corner. For a close 2 count, Andrade keeps control and tags in Garza, but Cedric fights him away. Garza goes to work on Cedric, but Cedric tries to counter Garza. Shots him off the top rope and drops him with a cutter for a close 2 count. Garza grounds Cedric on the mat now, taunting him. Andrade tags back in, works Cedric over against the ropes. Garza tags right back in for a double team in the middle of the ring, but Ricochet breaks up the pin. Andrade comes after him, but Ricochet sends him into the floor. Ricochet goes to moonsault from the apron, but Andrade takes him out and lands hard. Garza and Cedric trade shots now. Garza with a big knee strike for a 2 count. Garza with more offense. Cedric fights the double team off. Cedric ends up nailing a huge leap to the floor on Garza against the barrier. Cedric works Andrade over and nails a big Michinoku driver in the middle of the ring for a close 2 count. Street Profits are going wild and making noise on commentary. Cedric stomps away on Andrade. Andrade counters and levels Cedric with a huge back elbow for the win by pinfall, which was almost botched by the referee. He did botch it, but a delayed 3 count. Winners of the match, Andrade and Angel Garza. After the match, Vega enters the ring to celebrate with Andrade and Garza. They point up to the announce table where the Street Profits are clapping for them. The two teams stare each other down and have words. Montez and Angelo come down to the ring and a fight breaks out. Ford and Dawkins had cleared the ring, and the Hills joined Vega on the ramp to regroup. Ford and Dawkins stand tall in the ring as the music plays. Andrade grabs one of their title belts, lays it between the two teams on the ramp. We go to commercial. Back to the break, announcers look back at last week's 316 Day celebration with Hall of Famer Steve Austin. We can get the next match, Shane Thorne and Brendan Vick versus Street Profits. We go to the ring, and out comes Shane Thorne and Brendan Vick for the non-title match. Thorne starts off with Dawkins and quickly gets dominated. Ford tags in and shows off some while taking control. Thorne dodges a shot, and in comes Vick with a huge running boot to knock Ford's head off. Vick unloads on Ford and beats him back down in the corner. The big man Vink with a big chop and more boots to Ford in the corner. Then Vink with a big scoop slam in the middle of the ring for a 2 count. Ford tries to fight up and out, but Vink keeps him grounded. Vink rams Ford back into the corner, and Thorne comes in for a double team. Thorne drives Ford into the mat for a 2 count. Thorne keeps Ford grounded. Thorne kicks Ford around and grounds him. Ford fights free with a jawbreaker. Vink comes right back in and stops Ford from tagging. Ford counters, hits a big insecurity. Dawkins and Thorne tags in at the same time. Dawkins rocks Thorne and launches Vink with a suplex. Dawkins goes back to work on Thorne and turns to both opponents in the corners. Dawkins slams Thorne to set up the cash out. Ford tags in and flies off the top, nailing the big frog splash on Thorne for the pin and the win. After the match, Ford and Dawkins stand tall, celebrate as the music plays. We go to replays and announces Hype Garza and Andrade versus Ford and Dawkins for WrestleMania 36. Tom shows us how R-Truth captured the 24/7 title from Riddick Moss while Moss was running in his neighborhood this past weekend. They drive up in a car, and Moss grabs the referee out. He says, where's the guy? And out from behind, rolls him up for the 3 count. 1, 2, 3. Winner in 1,300 time, R-Truth. Still to come, Shayna Baszler will be here. Back to commercial. Back for the rate. The announcers go over WrestleMania 36 card. We go to the ring. Charlie Caruso sitting down with Shayna for an interview. They both have mics. Charlie asks Baszler how she will conduct herself as champion if she's able to defeat Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch at WrestleMania 35. Baszler has no response and just stares at Charlie. Charlie brings up her dominance and asks her to put everything into words. Baszler asks Caruso why she looks so nervous. Are you afraid I'm going to bite? Baszler chuckles and says she's sorry. She couldn't help herself. Charlie says that will be put her point on transition. As she brings up Baszler's recent bite to Becky's neck on Raw. Charlie asks if Becky should expect the same thing at WrestleMania. Baszler says what Becky should expect is to lose at WrestleMania. Charlie seems bothered by Baszler's response to her question. Charlie says Shayna agreed to this interview. Baszler interrupts and tells her to ask the question she wants. Why do you want to destroy it? If you do want to just destroy it, why do you want to win the Raw Women's title? Baszler says she wants the title because she loves to destroy it. When I take the title from Becky at WrestleMania, it will be destroy Becky. She says it's not that complicated. She says Baszler says she has shown everyone who she is from the very beginning. Baszler suddenly gets knocked out with a shot from something out of nowhere. The lights come back on and Lynch is there with a steel chair. A chair shot is what knocked Baszler out with a chair to the mat. Becky delivers another chair shot and smirks. Then walks off stage. A confused, hurt Baszler recovers on the mat as Becky stops on the stage and looks back again at her as the music plays. Smiling. So comes Becky. Aleister Black is here. He's ready for a fight. Back to commercial. Aleister Black versus Leon Ruff. Well, we go back to the ring. Out comes Aleister Black as the announcers hype Black versus Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania 36. Evolve Star. Leon Ruff waits across the ring. The bell rings and Black stares Ruff down. Black takes a seat in the middle of the ring. Indian style, stares at Ruff. Ruff tells him to come on and fight, but he won't. Ruff goes for a running kick, but Black ducks. Black gets up and starts fighting with strikes. Black quickly nails the Black mask for the quick win squash. After the match, Black takes another seat on the mat as the music plays. Announces hype the match with Bobby Lashley as we get a replay. So it comes, Seth Rollins is here, back to commercial. Back to the right, Kevin Owens is in the ring. Tom hypes Owens versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 36. Owens says he was here to answer the WrestleMania challenge from Rollins last week, but he was nowhere to be seen. But Owens has heard Rollins is here tonight. Owens calls Rollins out, music hits, and out comes Rollins to the stage by himself. Rollins walks down the ramp and around the ring, talking about how Owens trained in this building, the one that was built on Rollins' blood and success. Rollins goes on about how his first day in WWE was in an old warehouse. Rollins says he had to succeed for people like Owens, so they could train in a building like this. Rollins goes on and says Owens keeps refusing to fall in line. Rollins says none of this exists without Seth Rollins. WWE NXT, the Performance Center, he says everyone owes him. There is no Johnny Gargano, no Taker, no Women's Revolution, and others without Rollins. That's no takeover. He goes on and says there also will be no Kevin Owens without Seth Rollins. Owens has heard enough and tries to interrupt, but Rollins cuts him off and wants to finish. Rollins wants to know why Owens picked WrestleMania to try and make an example out of him. Rollins goes over his track record at WrestleMania. He says he's had more WrestleMania moments than he can count, and Owens has 0. Rollins says Owens has done nothing but fail at WrestleMania. Rollins taunts Owens for being left out off WrestleMania last year. Laughing at him, Rollins says Owens can't beat him on his worst day, and that WrestleMania is never his worst day because under pressure, he becomes a god. Rollins says Owens really doesn't stand a chance. Rollins drops the mic and walks across the stage to the back as the music hits, while Owens stares him down from the ring. Tom hypes Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania 36. He sends us to a replay of then SmackDown Women's Champion Flair retaining the title over current Women's Tag Team Champion Asuka at WrestleMania 34, 2018. We take a commercial break after the first few minutes of the match. We'll come back to more of the match. They take another break. We come back and see how Flair ends Asuka's streak at the big event. Flair's backstage with Charlie Caruso now. Charlie asks what it was like for her WrestleMania 36. Flair says for her it was inspiring, but what it was like for Ripley, Flair is sure Ripley wants to be just like her. Flair touts how she defended her title and broke Asuka's undefeated streak at the same time. She's assuming Ripley is excited to be the first NXT champion to defend their title at WrestleMania. But Flair is a master class at making history. Flair goes on about bragging about her WrestleMania success and history. Flair says if Rhea needs a history lesson, she's free to watch some of Flair's legacy matches. She might learn a thing or two. Flair deserves a woo chant and walks off. Still to come segment, Randy Orton will be here. We'll come back out to Randy Orton with a mic for the show closing segment. Orton speaks from the stage and says over the past few months, he's done and said some things. the things came from a place of love, but they've seen as an act of brutality, of violence. Orton speaks into the camera to address Hall of Famer Edge and says he will respond to his challenge tonight. But first, he needs to get something off his chest and apologize. He says a few weeks ago, he told Edge's wife, Hall of Famer Beth Phoenix, that Edge was a junkie for the crowd reaction. He was wrong. Edge is a junkie for his own ego. Orton brings up how Edge said last week that Orton didn't earn his opportunity. Orton admits he was handed a chance because of his last name, but that didn't guarantee a Hall of Fame worthy career. Orton brags on his own career and accomplishments now. Orton says none of that was handed to him. He earned it because he has what Edge said last week. He didn't have grit. Orton goes on about grit and knocks Edge for sitting on his couch at home for the last 9 years, wondering what if. Orton dismisses Edge's claim about Orton being a spoiled brat and says Edge is the real spoiled brat. Orton says he loves Edge, he loves their kids, and that's why he tried to send their daddy back home. But no, Edge challenged him to a last man standing match at WrestleMania. Orton says Edge may be writing the story, but at WrestleMania, Orton will be the one to write the last chapter and end it. Orton accepts the challenge. Music hits, and Tom hypes Orton versus Edge in the last man standing match at WrestleMania 36. Orton slowly paces around on the stage as his music hits. Raw goes off the air from the PC with Orton staring out at the ring and at the camera. That concludes my results for Raw. Another news, coronavirus and the lockdowns in certain cities. Bossier City, Shreveport. And that concludes my results. See you one video. If you don't know what you call me, brothers and sisters,